I know, but you only don't do comparison when it's to Donald Trump. The idea that you or Scott Jennings have your panties in a bunch over what Ossoff said about a woman connected to the president, when this man does nothing but denigrate women for sport on a regular basis.
What about ism?
Bill?
Far-right MAGA curmudgeon and all-around arrogant blowhard Bill O'Reilly was back on Chris Cuomo's show. And once again, the hypocrisy coming from MAGA could not have been more obvious. We're going to take a look at clips from another heated debate, and honestly, a pretty funny one in my opinion, between Bill O'Reilly and Chris Cuomo on his News Nation show. There is plenty to unpack here, and I have quite a few thoughts of my own to share. So let's get into it together.
Now, you teased Ossoff. I want to get to that.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
So
You said you'd rather vote for Putin.
I would.
You would vote for Vladimir Putin, who is a murderer. You would vote for a murderer over a U.S. senator.
Well, when you frame it that way, I might stay home.
Yeah, probably a good call, Bill.
Okay. Ossoff goes out there and number one says, Trump, this is Trump's war. He lied about it, but doesn't say what the lies are. I'd like to know what the lies are because I don't know what
they were in imminent threat of getting something, that it would be over in a couple of weeks. That's all. Go ahead.
Okay. Maybe that's a miscalculation. It's not a lie. A lie is when you wake up in the morning saying, I'm going to deceive everybody for my own gain.
Okay.
That's what a lie is. And then Ossoff attacks Natalie Harp. Now, I know Natalie Harp. And there is nobody that I know who works harder for this country. She's always on call. Okay? She is a decent human being. And I can attest to that. Why would you do that? Why would you impugn this woman's character in a cheap, gutter snipe way? So Ossoff is a gutter snipe. That's who he is. And the people of Georgia should know because character counts. You know?
Bill, the man he said it about.
What?
And you're going to say, I don't do that. I know, but you only don't do comparison when it's to Donald Trump. The idea that you or Scott Jennings have your panties in a bunch over what Ossoff said about a woman connected to the president, when this man does nothing but denigrate women for sport on a regular basis.
What about ism?
Bill? Yeah, because it matters.
It doesn't matter.
If you're going to say you don't like Ossoff talking about Natalie Harp, well, by the way, I'm not endorsing going after anybody. I'm just saying it's a little rich, Phil,
this
that
is
this
fifth
bothers
grade
you.
Stuff.
No, it's not fifth grade.
This is fifth grade
Bill,
stuff.
you can't pretend to have a standard of decency that you don't employ on the president. You can't do that. It's hypocritical.
Button it for a minute. This is going to help your career. We're not talking about Trump and Trump's insults.
Go ahead.
We're talking about a senator from Georgia and his insults.
Yeah.
You deflect into whataboutism.
Yes.
That's fifth grade.
No, it's not. If you're going to be upset about what he said, then you need to employ that standard against the president of the United States, because that is nothing compared to what the president says for sport, and you say nothing. You say, that's Trump being Trump. Well, this is Ossoff being Ossoff.
That's not true.
Love him or hate him.
That's, again, you don't know what you're talking about. I've criticized Donald Trump many times.
At this point, I honestly don't know what to think. I used to believe that Chris Cuomo and Bill O'Reilly were actually friends. But now I'm starting to wonder if Chris Cuomo brings Bill O'Reilly onto his show mainly to use him as a punching bag, just to highlight how clueless, hypocritical, and completely out of touch Bill O'Reilly can be. Let me know what you think in the comments, because it can be really difficult to tell how much of this is actually an act and how much of it is genuine, what these people truly believe, and what they're simply saying for the cameras. So tell me what you think. Is this all an act? Are Cuomo and O'Reilly just pretending to argue for the show? Or does Cuomo actually bring Bill O'Reilly on because he knows it gives him an opportunity to expose how ridiculous and hypocritical MAGA can be?
Ridiculous arguments and insults that lead nowhere. And anybody who watches the No Spin News or sees my commentary knows that.
You were just, you were just using me as a Democrat. You were helping my career by calling me a Democratic spokesperson on your show yesterday?
I'm helping your career.
Donald Trump, he doesn't like him like all Democrats. Like I'm a Democrat. If I'm a Democrat,
I don't care whether you like him or not.
Then you're a Republican. Well, you said it on your show. That's all I'm saying.
I don't care whether you like him or not. What I want you to stop is the whataboutism.
No.
It is not.
No, comparison matters. If you're going to apply a moral standard or a character standard to one side, apply it to both. That's all I'm saying. You can call it whatever you want.
Each situation is different. This woman is innocent, And did you see the news cycle today? That's all you saw. Was this woman?
That's because you guys won't stop talking about it because you think it's going to help you put down Ossoff. That's
you
why.
guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys.
I'll just point out that when Barack Obama was accused of being born in Kenya, I broke the story about the 2 newspapers in Honolulu that had the birth announcements.
Remind me, who was front running that BS? Remind me, who was it? Anybody?
I don't know who it was. I did my job.
I forgot. It was Donald Trump that was front running that BS. See what I'm saying?
He doesn't run my operation.
Yeah, but you should call it out. You're going to say you broke the story. You went after the BS. There's the captain of the BS team. So why don't you call him out? That's all I'm saying.
I do. You don't follow it. You don't know. You just don't know.
Okay, well, I look forward to it because he just attacked Kristen Holmes, who is a great reporter, and said horrible things about her. I don't remember you saying anything about it, do you?
Yeah, I said today, why are you bothering with this stuff?
Oh, that's it? Because that's what you say about Ossoff. You didn't say, John, why are you bothering about who he's on the plane with? You're calling him a gutter snipe and saying that this is an innocent. Kristen Holmes is an innocent.
Snipe.
So then so is the president of the United States.
No, he's attacking a woman. He's attacking a woman who doesn't deserve to be attacked.
And the president does that all the time.
You can make an argument that the press... So what? We're talking about Natalie Harp and a senator from Georgia.
If it's wrong for John Ossoff to say it, then it is wrong when the president says it, and he does it all all and it doesn't matter to you the way it does now. That's all I'm saying. Look, I got to go. Dusty is yelling at me.
It's right.
Dusty is yelling at me. I'm just saying.
Dusty, tell him to stop the whataboutism, all right?
Okay. Bill,
thank you.
Take care.
Chris Cuomo is making a fair point here because this is not the same kind of whataboutism you usually get from someone like Scott Jennings, where Donald Trump does something terrible and the immediate response is, well, what about Biden? What about when Biden did this? And Scott Jennings almost never stops there to admit that what Trump did was wrong too. Cuomo is trying to get Bill O'Reilly to recognize that he simply does not judge Donald Trump by the same standard. You can see in the example Cuomo brings up, where O'Reilly basically says Trump is wasting his time by being rude to a few female reporters. But he does not go as far as saying that Trump's behavior toward those women is completely unacceptable. And that difference matters because when Trump insults people, attacks them, talks down to them, or treats them horribly, Bill O'Reilly seems much less bothered when those are people he already dislikes. If he agrees with the target, suddenly the behavior becomes a serious problem. But if he hates the person Trump is attacking, then somehow it is easier to overlook. That is exactly the kind of double standard Cuomo is pointing out, and he is absolutely right to call attention to it. The problem is that someone like Bill O'Reilly is probably never going to be moved by an argument about hypocrisy, because MAGA politics has shown again and again that the same action can be treated completely differently depending on who is doing it. Donald Trump could repeat the exact same statement made by someone like Jon Ossoff, and the response would still be, well, that is different because Trump said it. But shouldn't the President of the United States actually be held to a higher standard, especially when he is the most powerful figure in his political party, rather than being given more excuses than an ordinary candidate? Bill O'Reilly is never going to make that argument because he is so convinced that he is right about everything, even when he is clearly out of touch with reality. And honestly, I enjoy watching Chris Cuomo push back on him and force him to confront those contradictions, because Cuomo does a pretty good job of putting O'Reilly on the spot. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to give the video a like and subscribe.